Hello, my name is Angie Arkin, and I'm an intuitive healer. I'm here to talk to you today about my new teaching, which is called Reclaiming Your Inner Child. Who's at your core? So much has been written about this, but to me, reclaiming your inner child is really all about self-love. Think about it. If you could go back right now as your adult self to the times in your childhood that were particularly difficult, and gather that being that you once were up into your arms, enfold them, and bring him or her up into the present moment, how do you think that would make you feel? I find that we all get in these patterns in our lives, or these loops, where we keep trying the same thing over and over and over, and we find out that it doesn't work, but we can't seem to stop. For instance, relationships are a good example of a loop that we might get into. Picking the same partner, the same type of partner, over and over and over, and not being able to break out of the mold. We do it with work, with our prosperity thinking or our lack thinking. We do it with weight gain, weight loss, body image stuff. These are all examples of patterns or loops, and I can tell you this. If you find yourself in a pattern or a loop in your life, there's really most likely a child back there at the control booth, just waiting to be heard from. They're waiting for you to show up so that they can come forward with you. I have a client who has suffered with prescription drug addiction for about 15 years now. I led her through this technique, and she told me that she had such a profound sense of this 10-year-old girl that she once was, and she said that the 10-year-old was so sad and lonely. It's the loneliness that really stuck with her, and she said she realized after we were finished with the technique that this sense of loneliness created a void in her, and it was this void that she'd been trying to fill with prescription drugs her whole life. So her problem with prescription drugs is simply an exit off the highway. The big piece for her is this void, and finding out where the void stems from was huge in her healing process. I have another client who suffered with sexual abuse as a child, and she said it has created like an emotional wall between her and her partner. She can let her husband in only so far, and then she has to push him away. When she did this technique, she said it really taught her that she lacks trust because she never felt like she could keep herself safe as a child, so how could she ever trust anyone else to keep her safe? Going back and reclaiming this little child of hers that didn't feel safe allowed her to feel cared for in a way that also allowed her to begin slowly to let her husband in to her life further and further and into her heart. So this technique is quite profound, and it's actually really easy. I made it short so that you could fit it into your busy life. I think the entire teaching is about 15 minutes, and the technique itself is about 5 minutes. Of course, you could make it as long as you like. I really encourage you to do it. I find that the thing is in life, we are our own responsibilities. We're waiting for ourselves to show up for us. We all know what to do if a child is lost and can't find its mom in the shopping center and maybe they're crying. We know how to help. But do we know how to help ourselves? People tell me all the time, I feel like something is missing in my life. You know what? Something is missing, and that thing is you. Try this technique. I firmly believe that it will help you. And as always, may all beings benefit. Have a beautiful day.